What is up, RAVER fam? Welcome to another episode of the RAVER podcast with your host, Tyler Hardy. And as always, I just want to take a moment to express my overwhelming love and gratitude for each and every single one of you guys who tune in on a daily and weekly basis to talk about all things RAVER and self-improvement and everything that we talk about on this podcast in regards to helping you become the most self-actualized and self-love version of yourself that you can possibly be. And so I just want you to take a moment and take a deep breath with me. And drop in and allow yourself and put yourself into a state of allowance to receive new information that might be helpful for you in regards to improving the quality of your life, whether that be physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. So then that way you can actually get the most out of these episodes, because as the host is to assist you in any way that I can and share practical and tactical information that's going to help you evolve and transform into what I know it is that you're capable of becoming. And so in order to do that, we have to be open to receiving. And, I think that's probably what we're going to talk about in today's episode, is that openness and willingness to, interact with creation, and the openness and willingness to accept and allow things to come in. And I'll share some of my life experiences about how I, in a lot of ways, was blocking myself from a lot of abundance and a lot of opportunities and new experiences and new people, because I had a broken mindset around worthiness and feeling worthy in what it is that I wanted to have in my life and what I felt that I was worthy of bringing in, and how it shaped a lot of my relationships and how it shaped a lot of my earlier years and how that's really changed, and what I did to really cultivate a healthier relationship with myself and a realization that I do deserve the best possible outcomes, as do you. So hopefully this information is, valuable, and you're able to implement it and integrate it on a daily basis for yourself. So hopping into it, I think it's really important to know that, we're inherently abundant from the moment that we're born. We have no blockages. We are connected to what it is that created us and infinite potential and possibility. Now, feelings of unworthiness or lack or scarcity or lower vibrational frequency are all things that were taught. You weren't born with that. So it's something that you picked up along the way, either through parental example, peers, other family members, work, boss, you name it. Like your key to your inner liberation and freedom is specifically going back and having an objective viewpoint of everything that's happened in your life, and being able to dissect and gain a deeper understanding of what happened in that experience that caused you to be the way that you are now, and then correcting that and reparenting and reteaching yourself. And that's something that I've spent a lot of time doing specifically over the past couple of years, is just essentially reparenting myself, reteaching myself, healthier ways to live life, healthier ways to view life, healthier ways to have boundaries and relationships, and, all the things that are important that a lot of us weren't taught, or we were taught incorrectly. And so getting back to it, for a long time, I didn't realize that I was doing this as an unconscious pattern of mine, is I would block opportunities, or I would block, opportunities for advancement or growth or progression. And I wasn't even realizing that I was doing it, but I was bringing in this energy a lot of times where I would be timid or afraid of something failing or something not working out or being taken advantage of. And what that would do is it would keep me living inside of myself and not really living, in a healthy way outside of myself, and creating and expanding and collaborating and creating new relationships and having, the most fun that I could have in experiences at all times. And it really diminished a lot of what I was able to do and what I was able to experience, and my viewpoint in which I saw the world. And I don't want that for you if that's something that you're experiencing either consciously or unconsciously. You should be at a place, or, there's a potential in which you should be, waking up every day knowing that absolutely anything is possible for you. You were able to create whatever it is that you want to create on a daily basis, and nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you and your limited perspective and mindset and viewpoints on life in the world. And granted, there are a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of negative people. There are a lot of people stuck in victim consciousness and on this planet, due to the way that society's set up. But those are the people that are relinquishing their power to external circumstances that are not getting what they want out of life. Because I can tell you that when you do the deep inner work, when you do the healing, when you do, that intimate getting to know yourself and really, peeling back the layers of, all the blockages that you create towards opportunities, experiences, and abundance for yourself, you start to realize that the only thing that's keeping you from that, what you want to experience, is you. And it's kind of like a sobering experience, especially like as of, the past, like maybe 3 or 4 months, I've really had like this like death and rebirth type theme in my life, where I've been seeing like a lot of symbology and things that indicate, the ending of times and the beginning of new times. And it's really an exciting experience. And I remember there was a point where it felt like it just kept dragging on and on and on. And I literally asked myself, I was like, how much longer is this going to happen for? And then I just hear this voice say, as long as you want it to last for. And it made me realize that so often we make things more challenging than they need to be. We put blockages in the way to our healing. So not only do we have something we've experienced that maybe fragmented our consciousness or put us in a place where we feel separate from everything and everyone, but we're also creating blockages on the way to our own healing through our own belief systems and patterns and things that we carry out on a daily basis. I hope that makes sense, because it's something that if you can really intellectually understand and then embody that belief and knowing, then it's really going to help you jump to the next level and really help you fast track your healing and progression. Because, I can't tell you how many times I've sat there and I am like, man, like that was really actually a lot easier than I thought that it was going to be in regards to healing or processing. And that ability to do that very quickly on a subconscious level really comes down to your ability to get out of your own way and allow yourself to objectively view experiences and situations that you previously have experienced that shaped and formed the way that you view life. And the sooner that you can do that and you're not trying to defend a position because of ego, it really allows you to see things for what they are. You can see how you played into an experience and how the other person played into an experience, and where your faults were, where their faults were, what can be changed or done to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And that's when everything dissolves and it just seems to fade away in such a beautiful way. There's resolution to things that are keeping us from what it is that we want. And so I think the big thing that I really want to emphasize here is, one, you have to go back and you have to really look at things objectively and with pure honesty with yourself. And the more honest you can be with yourself, the more honest you can be with experiences that you've had. So then that way you can heal and grow through them and, gain a lot of quality character development as a result of that. And then two, it's really evaluating the belief systems that came as a result. So you have the initial experience, right, that creates this emotional charge. And then eventually over time, because we carry that emotional charge and that vibration, what it does is it creates a belief system for us. It creates a way of being for us. So getting down to the root is really the only way to heal and to solve any sort of, limitation or lack or, poor belief system that you have. And so in that way you can, write a new story and embody that story and then start creating from that space, because, the universe is going to reflect that back to you when it sees that you've done the work, when it acknowledges that you're actually actively pursuing becoming what it is that I know that you're capable of becoming, and you should know that you're capable of becoming. And so for a long time, that was the way that I lived. I lived in lack, scarcity. I was always blocking myself from experiences. I was keeping myself very similar to the people around me to kind of blend in and receive validation, when in reality, like my capabilities and potential are, through the roof. They're infinite in nature, and so are yours, and so a lot of people play really small when they shouldn't. And I realized that I play small in a lot of ways, and that, my opportunity to keep growing and expanding is infinite. So why wouldn't I keep pushing? Why wouldn't I keep going? Why wouldn't I keep developing? Because it's going to help me help you guys. It's going to help me help myself. It's going to help me help the RAVER. It's going to help me help, random strangers and people and all the philanthropic things that we desire to do. It's just going to allow me to be a more whole, complete, and actualized person, which is, why I do this podcast, is I want to be able to share my experiences as I'm going and hopefully assist you in the same way. So then that way, it's a win-win. We're creating a healthy, empowered community here at RAVER. And so really identifying and viewing the belief systems is super important, because when we do that, it allows us to start healing and creating a new story for ourselves and unpacking, the heaviness, the density that a lot of people carry in their body. Because, when you're in a place of, separation and lack, it puts you in a place where you're very vibrationally dense. And from a vibrational standpoint, you can't attract in those awesome, life-altering experiences because of the fact that you're not a vibrational match. You're not vibrationally resonating with what it is that you're actually desiring for yourself. And that's where the whole, conversation of congruency comes in, which is something that I've talked about in numerous episodes before, is finding that congruency. But we need to find congruency after we find the clarity that we need in regards to why it is that we carry out a certain belief system or a way of thinking or a pattern or habits that are getting us what we don't want or a fraction of what we are capable of actually becoming. And so that's a big thing. And some practices that I do, because I want to give you guys tactical information here, things that actually really help with this is, one, meditation. I'm the biggest proponent of meditation. It was shown in a UCLA study that meditators have a 7.5 year younger brain on imaging and CT scans compared to people who are non-meditators. So just from a physical standpoint, we're being able to prove that people who meditate have healthier brains. And I guarantee that they obviously have healthier brainwave frequency, and they're more coherent with their heart and their body. And so really cultivating that practice of meditation is really going to help you in so many ways, just beyond the physical. It's tapping into infinite intelligence, that is available to each and every single one of us. And it's something that I didn't even realize for, 20 something years that we had the potential to tap into. And I'm here to tell you confidently and with great knowing that you can. And again, that comes from, not blocking yourself from that potential. Just because the rest of society is not doing something doesn't mean that it's not possible. Generally speaking, with society, you want to do the opposite of what they're doing, and you'll probably be in a really good place, and it's because, as a collective, we get to a place where we feed off of each other's energy. And there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. It's very chaotic. It's very, all over the place. And as a result of that, we're contributing to, our own internal belief systems and reflecting that, because I know people who are having the most abundant, happy, and joyous times of their life over the past year. And I would say that, this year's gone fantastic for myself and, people that are close to me and what we're working on, because we're focusing on the good things, we're focusing on the positive, and we're allowing those things to come in. So cultivating that meditative practice and really getting down to the conscious and subconscious level is what's going to allow you to start, causing the effect for the reality that you're experiencing. And that's when life really gets fun, because you're actually intentionally creating for the first time in your life. And it's a completely different life experience as opposed to, being a plastic bag in the wind and, just going with wherever life takes you, and however you're influenced by, media, social media, friends, acquaintances, all that stuff. It puts you in a place where you're really able to start, causing an effect for what it is that you want to create in your life. And I think just even taking a moment in your practice and focusing on expanding yourself and really feeling into, opening yourself up to potentials and possibilities. And this is where I started to realize, I was like, you know what? I've been blocking myself from these experiences. I've been blocking myself from expressing more love to others. I've been blocking myself from expressing, more gratitude and expressing, for the things that I want, being able to ask for the things that I want, because, there was definitely a childhood theme of, asking for things that I wanted and not getting them. And so it created a belief system that I've since unpacked and worked through, where I realized that, every ask that I have is always answered. The universe always delivers the answer. It's just your job to ask for it and then stay open to what the solution or what the answer is. And so, really reworking that belief system has helped me as well. I'm not afraid to ask for what it is that I want and express that outward through my voice and my energy, and then find congruency and wait for the answer to come back and then take action on it. And that's the secret to really being able to create at a high level is, interfacing with creation and knowing that, through the law of totality, that you are everything and everyone. And as a result of that, then, why would you be separate from anything in life? The reason that we don't have the things that we desire is because in our mind, we create a degree of separation from what it is that we desire. When we have these goals and these things that we don't have, that we put on this pedestal where we're like, oh, once I have this house, or once I have this amount of money, once I have this thing, then I'll be complete. It's like the complete inverse is the truth here. And this is what's going to be the thing that really helps you unlock so much of your potential, is that if you fully understand the law of totality and you not just only understand it intellectually, but you actually embody it on a daily basis and you become it, then you realize that there's no degree of separation from you and what it is that you want and what it is that you desire for yourself. So when you see that, I am money, I am health, I am abundance, I am the people that, love me and I love them, I am, crazy life experiences that are amazing and super expansive. I am all of these things. I am the entire thing. Also being able to look at some of the darker shadow sides of everything in life and say, even though I may not understand it and I would never do those things, I am that too. And that's the beauty of understanding and embodying totality. It puts you on a playing field where it's like anything is possible for yourself. You're able to embody those things much easier because of the fact that you realize that there's no separation. You want to make a certain amount of money, then you realize that you are money. You are currency. You are these things. You're not separate from these things. And when you become those things, why would you keep yourself away from what it is that you are? And then you get to the point where when you realize that you're everything, then you can choose what it is that you want to, be around, what energy you want to associate yourself with, who you want to associate yourself with, what kind of work you want to be doing that gives you a lot of, passion and purpose. And then as a result of that, it puts you in a place where you are, the infinite creator of your reality. So my advice or the tactical information that I have is consciously spending even a few minutes a day, getting into that space where you're reconditioning your body to your new mind, like Joe Dispenza talks about. That stuff's all very, very applicable and real when it comes to getting to those upper echelons of creation. You start conditioning the body towards like, what would it feel like to be infinite? What would it feel like to have unlimited potential? What would it feel like if I was money? What would it feel like if I was, a loving relationship? What would it feel like if I had, a great job that I loved, a passion-filled, purpose and career? What would that feel like? And then you start conditioning the body. It'd feel amazing. It'd feel free. It'd feel liberating. It would feel, joyous. It would feel whatever it is that you want it to feel like. You start conditioning your body towards that. And then you start rewiring the subconscious mind through repetitive affirmations, repetitive journaling. And then it puts you in this place where you start only looking for those things. You start seeking out that thing that validates, hey, I'm making this much money, or hey, I am serving in this way. Hey, I am being this person. Hey, I am showing up in this way for myself. Hey, all these different things that you're wanting for yourself. It starts looking for those things because the mind finds what it continuously focuses on. It will always find those things, and the mind will always prove itself right. So why wouldn't you want it to prove itself right in a way that blows your mind, that puts you in a place where you're able to take care of all of your needs on a daily basis and have, great relationships with others and be able to collaborate and, make the world a better place? Why wouldn't you want that for yourself? The problem is that most people have belief systems and, blockages that they artificially I would say that they psychosomatically create to give themselves this challenge because it creates this separation towards what it is that they want. When in reality that we create our own suffering, and when we start to really embody that we are everything in every single experience and every single person, it changes the entire, scope and view in which we view the world. And if more people lived in that, then we wouldn't have the problems that we have on this planet. We wouldn't have the challenges because people would start seeing like, hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to contribute in a meaningful way, and I'm here to make the world a better place in whatever way that looks like, whether that's being a great parent who healed all their traumas and all their crap, so then that way their kids didn't have to deal with that same stuff. That's a huge purpose, right? Whether it's the business person who, brings a revolutionary product that changes the course of human history, whether it's just the person who's being a good friend to someone who needs it in that moment, being a present, sovereign human being is what we need more of on this planet. And that's why, I do what I do on this podcast, because this is the information and the playbook to what I've done that's worked for me. And I know that not every single thing I say is going to be applicable to you in your life. And it's because you're meant to be the one who, guides yourself to that experience. But there are people that do want to help you, that have genuine interest in just helping you and assisting you in self-actualizing the best version of yourself. And that's what, my intention is. And that's what the whole concept of RAVER is about. It's not just about the products. It's about us helping you go through this healing process and becoming, this enhanced version of yourself that, years ago, I didn't even think was possible. The person that I sit as talking to you right now versus the one that, from 3-4 years ago, I didn't even think that this was a realm of possibility. So even though you may not be able to experience it right now in your now moment, doing that work and healing is really going to put you into an amazing place that's going to really help you become what it is that you want to become. And as a result of that, it's really going to put you light years ahead in advancement. So then that way you can really tap into a level of genius, that infinite intelligence. So then that way you can find, what it is that you're meant to do, your purpose. Life is different when you live in a purpose. And for a long time, I lived in a lot of purposelessness, and it was a lot of depression. It was a lot of anxiety. It was a lot of, unfulfillment. It was a lot of relationships that weren't, conducive for my greatest good. It was a lot of, being taken advantage of. It's a lot of these different things, but it was because I allowed it, because I wasn't taking care of this body. I wasn't taking care of my mind. I wasn't, living in a healthy belief system, and I was drawing in people and experiences that validated that. So just know that you're the vibrational center point. It's not other people. It's not seminars. It's not courses. It's not all these things. Those things can give you the information, so in that way it plants a seed for the potential, but the work is done by you, and that's what makes it valuable. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you, interesting, and it makes you, great in your own right, whatever that looks like, because you did the work, you value it, you appreciate it. So then that way you never want to give it up. You never want to allow things to come in that could take that away from you, And so, really take this information from this episode and allow yourself to accept the information. So even just taking a conscious moment with me here and say, okay, I just took in a lot of information, and feel what feels right to you. And then say, I'm accepting, I'm allowing of the best potential scenario to play out. That's something that I tell myself day in and day out. The second that I feel any sort of anxiety or worry, I know that everything is coming together, and the universe is, conspiring to help me, to assist me, because I am it. You are it. Why wouldn't it want to help itself? The only thing that causes the suffering is the separation that we think that we have from everything that's around us and everyone that's around us, and when we can really step into, the totality of life, it allows us the power to choose again. It gives us the free will and sovereignty to decide what it is that we want to be, and how we want to be it, and how we show up, and who we show up for. And, just every single thing, we can interweave that spiritual knowingness and experience into our day-to-day, and really help ourselves become, borderline superhuman when you start stacking and doing all the right things. And so I'm really excited for you guys. Again, allow yourself to have this experience. Allow yourself to take in new information. Allow yourself to make change. And if you're not willingly and easily and effortlessly just allowing that to come in, then there's probably something that needs to be healed, that gets to be healed. An opportunity for yourself to evolve and change and morph into something that's better, and shed dense layers, so that way you become lighter, not only on a physical level, but a spiritual and emotional level. So now you're not carrying the baggage. You're creating space for something new to come in. Allow that to come in, because you deserve it. I don't need to know you. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. But if you're hearing this, I just want you to know that you are worthy of so many great things in your life. You're worthy of love and abundance and healthy relationships and healthy boundaries and great physical health and great mental health and whatever it is that is a potential, because that again is part of, totality, is there's infinite potential. So you can tap in energetically to what it is that you want, and you can keep reaping more of those benefits and drawing in more of those experiences. That's how easy it can get when you do the work, when you shed that, vibrational density through healing and allowing yourself to love yourself more, and doing the hard work and doing the challenging things on a daily basis. It makes the rest of life much more enjoyable. And so I want that for you. I want that for the whole RAVER family. This is, not just about the supplements. This is about, when I'm at music festivals, or we're out in public, or wherever we're at, and we, cross paths, I want to speak to people who, take and embody whatever information that they get from the podcast, whatever other information that we do, and they embody that and they integrate that into their day-to-day life. So then that way, when we speak, it's hey, I really benefited from this, or I've become a better person because of this, or hey, this information helped me move past this thing that was really blocking me towards a lot of, potentials and opportunities in my life. And I just wanted to thank you guys. Because it's not about what we're doing here. It's about you and it's about your development. That's why I created the company. I created this so that way we could all come together and unify, because once we all unify, the world's problems will, go away like that, like a snap of a finger, because of the immense power and potential that lies within each and every single one of us to do the right thing, to do amazing things, to push the envelope, to push the boundaries towards what's actually possible, for our existence here. And, that's what I'm doing here. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I want to help you find that for yourself. And so we're going to do that together. If you're going to be allowing, I'm allowing of all the good things to come through me to share with you. Now, the question is, are you allowing yourself to receive that information that feels true to you? And I want you to have discernment. Discernment's really important here, because, if we just take what every single person says as truth, then it's a quick way to, not get a bunch of great information, because everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to think that they know. And in reality, most people don't know, even to an extent where, there's times where I acknowledge frequently now that I don't know everything. I just know what I know through my experiences, and I share them with people, hoping that it's going to resonate for them. No attachment to the outcome, but, take that information, discern it, feel what feels true to you, integrate it, and then become what it is that I know that you're able to become. So then that way, when we get to episode 400 of the podcast, and then we meet one day, you'll be like, holy crap, from the beginning of the time that I started listening to this to now, I've completely changed my entire life, through the work that I did. And hopefully I can, play a piece in that. Hopefully we can play a piece in that at RAVER, and that's, what we're here to do. So just to give you guys some quick updates on where we're at with the business and everything. So we just relaunched the website. And so we have a brand new website. We've got a bunch of new functionality on it. We're offering subscriptions now on the products. So then that way it does a couple things for you. One, when we sell out, you'll have first priority on your order, meaning that when we go back into production, we get new inventory. If we've been sold out, we'll send your product out to you before we even offer it on the website again. So then that way we can make sure that we're taking the best care of our, most loyal customers and family members who really support what we're doing here, because without you guys, I wouldn't have a reason to, turn the mic on every day and talk and share the things that are important to us. Also on top of that too, we're going to guarantee the pricing for you. So then that way the pricing stays locked in forever. And that way, you're, continuously getting the best deals on it, because as pricing increases over time, inevitably, we want to make sure we're taking care of the day one supporters as best as we can. And then, we're doing a bunch of BOGOs, exclusive discounts, bulk discounts for those of you who share it with your whole Rave fam. So then that way we can get you the best deals and take good care of you guys. So without further ado, guys, be sure to check that out. It's www.drinkravera.com. And as always, I'm Tyler Hardy. Thank you for joining me today, and I will be talking to you very soon. You guys have a great day. Peace.